Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm your host, Money Brown, and I am joined with Bailey.
Hello.
And it's just gonna be the two of us riding out with this one. So, how you been, Bailey? What you been up to, my guy?
Sick still, as you can hear. So, my voice is not the greatest at the moment, but no, it's nothing too much. Just getting over my sickness, catching up a few things. Oh, finally watched the entirety of Trigun Stampede.
Hey, how? Actually, stop watching that. That wasn't actually any fault of the show. I just forgot to go back and watch more episodes.
Trust
But
me, I was the same fault here. My general consensus of it. So, Amani, it's both a reimagining, but still a prequel, if that makes sense.
yeah, no, that's been its weirdest thing, isn't it?
It's a prequel because it takes place before the events of the City of July that gave Vash the $60 billion double dollars name. He's already known as the Humanoid Typhoon ahead of time. He's already lost his arm. Millie is set to appear in the next season, so I'm happy about that.
Oh, well, that kind of explains a lot of things. That also makes this a really weird. What is the timeline on this? Okay.
It's before the big event because they introduced a lot of like main set characters before they were introduced in the original series. Because again, we already met Nicholas D. Wolfwood. He's not normal this time round. He's
Yeah,
actually
no.
superhuman. He's superhuman.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's kind of interesting. It's
Like
it's definitely interesting.
it doesn't really explain its purpose too much of why the season exists ahead of time. For me, it feels more style than substance, if that makes sense. The animation looks great, a lot of great action. One of my favorite details was when Vash is not using his gun as an actual gun, he uses it like a tonfa.
That actually is kind of clean.
like
That's
that
pretty
is
fire.
dope, and the animation is neat. It's just that the narrative is like really lackluster. Like, oh, come on, like I'm hoping they explain a bit more in the next season because there'll be more meat on the bones. Because we still got to deal with that Legato, the gun ho guns.
Oh, okay. So I because you mentioned it was still a prequel, but I guess that's weird because I thought based on what I was watching, I felt like it actually went through like a decent amount of stuff already, like just
Mhm.
normally. So I guess my question is, where does it stop? Because you mentioned that you still have to deal with Legato, and Legato's like, I mean,
A
Legato's
big
pretty
one.
good, but like he's a big part of it. So it's
It's
like, where
yeah,
does it?
it's a little weird. You care if I say about a spoiler at the end a little bit?
I mean, it's fine. I mean, the best way I could possibly describe it is like I don't think they've dealt with knives, and if they did, what?
That's the thing I was gonna mention. They kind of did.
I don't understand. Okay.
So, in context, and we apologize for anybody who hasn't watched the show yet. Um, Vash gets the angel arm gun. He shoots it in the air. The City of July destroys. He gets destroyed. Dies tries to stop Vash from using said gun, but gets essentially annihilated because you see his body literally go into his bones entirely. So, like, I think he's dead. He could come back because he's not human.
Yeah, they're not human, so, and that's not even a spoiler. The
That's
damn
yeah.
show doesn't even pretend like
No,
it's
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
To-
And it's like I'm not entirely sure if he's dead or not. And it's like really, it's not clear. Um, the city of July is destroyed, and Vash is on the run once more. But yeah, it's like I think you're gonna go deal with the rest of the Gun Ho Gung. We got to deal with Legato, though I'm not sure how that's gonna be done
oh wait
because
a
his
minute,
master's dead.
we're dumb. That was the deal with the City of July, is that they got into a fight there, and that's why July got exploded. So Knives
Yes,
is probably still alive because that was the big thing in the original series, is that
yes,
like
but
Knives comes back and he's like,
yeah.
"You're still alive." That's crazy.
Yeah, but he got incinerated because that massive beam. He was flying towards it the entire time and literally had his entire flesh removed. Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
no, I
it's
feel like he's
possible
probably
still.
good.
He's probably
They
still
they
alive.
are
It's like,
different. They are
yeah,
built different, straight up.
it's just a weird thing. And Millie, not Millie, Meryl is a reporter before
Yeah.
she becomes a insurance director, a bit insurance agent. So it's a little weird on that setup. And again, they didn't really explain the existence of why they changed out Billy in the first place because Roberto De Niro doesn't really serve too much of purpose to me in my eyes.
I don't know. I guess they just wanted to have like Millie kind of have more of a relationship with Vash going into it. Well, not
I mean,
Millie.
they
My bad.
Meryl, no,
Meryl.
Meryl, not really much either. And the thing is, that since she already knows how Vash looks like ahead of time, it's not maybe. Well, I mean, after the events of this
Well,
season, he may look slightly different.
she now know who's Vash is. She now has spent like at least an entire season with Vash, and like I guess going into some of the other. I mean, so has Nicholas D. Wolfwood, which I guess gives us more time with both of those characters. Is my deal. And so like I guess the next season gets to focus on Nicholas and Millie, as well as
Meryl,
developing. No, no, no. Nicholas is.
yeah.
Dang,
Well, they
I'm
kind
really
of
messing up their names right
they.
now.
You're good, yeah. Nicholas,
But
yeah.
Nicholas and like it'll focus more on Nicholas. No, no, no. I did say that right.
Yeah.
It's Nicholas and Millie because those are the two that get together, and then Meryl and Vash honestly never truly get together, but that's usually the deal with that kind of pairing. Um,
Mhm.
we get to focus, I guess, more on that relationship as well. With them having now, they have a past, sort of. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's a little strange. I guess they're. To be fair, I had to do a bunch of research after a certain point, just wondering some stuff, and like you talked about it too, and like we had a conversation with friend of the show Zach
Mhm.
about it. But like Trigon's story is like the most inconsistent thing ever between all of its mediums.
Mhm. Because the manga is one way, the first anime is one way, and this is one way, and the movie is not really associated with either one of those. It's his own thing, but it's still fun. It's just
Technically,
that,
it's weird because it very much is just associated with the show. It's just an
yeah.
adventure that happened in the show. But
Hmm.
like everyone is like it we don't know where it takes place and I'm like how do we not?
It's very weird.
But that's I mean you're not wrong. I mean I figured Badland Rumble was just like hey this is just an adventure that Vash had and it's just following the show's canon because it has all of those designs specifically. So
Hmm.
even in the same voice cast, like everyone from the show was back for that movie. So it's like it takes place there. Um, but as far as like everything else goes, like it was weird because we harped on it a lot, right? We harped on this
Hmm.
first season a lot just because it was so different. But like ultimately, now that I'm thinking about it and like really taking the step back after like its initial droppings and like my initial reactions to like what it was, and you being the one that finished it, like, do you think it's like it's worth watching? Like, do you think it's still good?
It's decent. It doesn't really justify its existence, I would say, too well. Like I said before, it's mostly style than substance because animation, the certain action sequences look really cool. It's just the narrative weight behind it's not there.
Okay. Is it because they just haven't gotten to certain things yet, or
I
is it more so
guess, or
because of the
it,
fact that
it feels too empty, if that makes sense. Because like they try to not, I wouldn't say force. It's just that it just certain events just kind of happen. Like that doesn't feel right. Like especially with how you already know Knives is like the big bad, and his explanation like why he did all this in the first place. Like I don't know how I feel about all this because it still feels kind of shallow.
okay, I get it. I guess hopefully in later seasons, considering that this probably will get a season two, um,
Yes.
I guess hopefully it'll be able to pull in some of that extra substance because like a lot of this right now seems to be kind of we're doing a lot of backstory stuff is what I noticed. Which I mean, granted, the whole point of the original animated series was that it kind of doled out these like backstory bits and pieces throughout time, like there was a mystery about it. And this
Hmm.
one, there is no mystery. So we're kind of just going chronologically, but like we're just moving pieces around so that they can have a bit more space with it, I guess. Because like technically, the City of July happens like what, like 20 years ago or
Hmm.
something like that in the original series, and like in this series, it's probably just going to be like 5 or 10.
Probably
Because
less.
yeah,
Probably much less. Because if you were curious of where Vash is at the moment, he's going by Eric, so his like civilian persona at the
okay,
moment.
so he's gone to that. Wait, yeah, okay, yeah, no, that kind of makes sense, all things considered. So it's strange to say the least. It's a strange interpretation, but I like you said, it's for now it's style. Um,
Like the
you
animation
did say you
is
liked
is
a
top
lot of.
class. Yeah, it's great to look
You
at,
like
and
what they did with Nicholas, though, correct?
yeah. Oh yeah, no. In terms of, I like what he did in terms of style of Nicholas. I don't know if I like his backstory as much this time round. Um,
Yeah, he has more involved this time
it,
around as
and he
opposed to
has
being a
a
wanderer
yeah, and he has
that's
a
involved.
little brother. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that.
Yeah.
It's just that it's. I guess it was a little strange to me with the idea that like, I thought it was cool that he got like this kind of buff because I was like, it made him stronger, much is
Hmm.
for certain. I just never really understood what the buff was, and maybe I have to get a little bit further. But like,
You want me to straight up tell you?
it's weird, right? Like, okay,
It's
yeah,
actually pretty simple. He's not Wolverine.
okay, it's a healing thing.
It's a healing thing. He has to
Because the
drink this
first
like
time I
essentially this
saw it,
elixir, and he can pretty much immediately heal any damage that's taken from him. So he can gets shot up a bunch of times. He drinks this. He's
okay,
back to
because like
speed. Yeah.
in the very beginning when he shoots the kid that
Hmm.
gets modified, right? He
Yes.
drinks it before he takes the shot, and I'm like looking at it, being like, why does that affect the laser that you do? Like, I don't understand. like,
It
like
has
I don't
nothing to
get
do
it.
with the laser. I'll tell you that for
Yeah,
sure. It
that's
has
what like because
nothing.
if you notice the way it's shot and everything like that, that's how it seems. It seems like he had to drink it in order to shoot the thing. And I was like, I'm confused. I
It's
don't get
weirdly
it.
set up because like he did not need to drink that to shoot that fucking gun.
He's like, but like later on, I kind of knew that it gave him advanced healing, but I didn't know if there was like more to it. Like if he had like extra strength or like agility or something extra stuff going on that like allowed. But it's cool that he's like genuinely on par with Vash. I mean, granted, he was on par with Vash to begin with in the
Hmm.
original series, but that was like kind of weird because like Vash technically is always kind of holding back in
Yeah,
ways.
Hey, Leon.
Oh, that's
yeah.
good.
Well,
Leon has joined
I
the
got home
party.
earlier than I thought I would.
Bet.
You guys
That's
are
good.
recording, right?
Yeah.
Yep, we're recording.
Okay.
We're talking currently about
Hmm.
the new Vash Stampede. Well, I guess it's
Trigun
not really new.
Stampede.
It's Trigun
Yeah.
Stampede. Trigun Stampede is interesting. Pele finished it, so he's been going over it.
Oh,
A
okay,
bit of
okay,
discussion
okay.
on that one.
Hmm. It's my overall opinion of it. Just reiterate, I consider more style than substance. It looks really
Mm-hmm.
nice. It's just the story's a bit lackluster.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that.
You
I
finished it too,
haven't. I
Leon?
haven't.
Okay.
No, I haven't finished it too, but it's just the way it looks, the way how it's going.
So everyone's done the same thing where they like watched a couple episodes and was just like just didn't come back. It wasn't the show's fault, just didn't come back.
I mean, it took me a while to get back into it. It didn't grip me as much, but I enjoyed what I did see physically with my eyes because the animation is pretty well done. It's just that just not enough writing there to really grab me, especially since the original one had really decent writing to begin with and made me care for a lot of the characters involved, especially with Millie and Nicholas D. Wolf and Vash. Is just this one feels. I like Vash still, like because I like Johnny Young Bosch. I'm watching in English dub because that's how I grew up in watching the original
Mm-hmm.
series.
No, I
Um,
understand that.
mhm. But it just doesn't feel as gripping. Other characters involved with it, and Knives, his motivation is a little. I mean, I kind of just miss the old classic villainous mindset where he's just like humans are inferior to plants, and I kind of miss that psychoticness. This one's a little bit more. He wants to protect Vash as his little brother, so like, okay, I don't really understand the reasoning still, but okay. Yeah, I don't know.
He's
It's
trying to.
So
It's like weird because he's
it's
trying to like.
humanizing the villain ish. That's what it's
I
showing.
guess they're trying to humanize the villain. It just doesn't come off as well because he still does, incredibly monstrous things along with it. He still blames humanity after everything he
Yeah,
did.
it's
Like,
quite heinous.
Mm-hmm.
To be
yeah,
fair, what I noticed is that like Vash's, well, my bad, Knives' thing kind of is the same in both iterations, but like this one I think is more of a. It definitely hits more of like we are plants. Humans do horrible things to plants. We should not trust them.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's hard. He's really on that hard stance of like they use us as tools, therefore we use them. Right? Like don't get too comfortable around them because the moment they find out what you are, they're gonna be upset. And to be honest, he's both not wrong and right at well, he's both not wrong and completely wrong at the same
yeah.
time. Throughout the whole series, it's like you see them and it's like, well, humans clearly care. They kind of give a shit. They find out he's a plant. Some of them are like, that's kind of weird. and then some of them are like, "Wow, that's a freak," but like,
You're on the planet Gunsmoke. It's full of freaks.
he's like, that dude's a freak." He's like,
Well, didn't it? Well, at least with the original series that we watched animated, didn't they not like just gloss over it or something and not even
in
mention
the
it?
original series, no one else finds out except for the four, and I guess technically, Ray. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Ray was her name, right?
Ray?
Was it Ray?
Oh yeah, yeah. Rem.
Rem. No one. Yes. So no one really finds out besides the cast that you normally see on the screen, which is
Mm-hmm.
Millie, Meryl, and
Vash and
well,
Nicholas Steve
Vash,
Wood.
Vash is the plant, but Nicholas.
Yeah. Nicholas doesn't give a shit. I think.
But yeah,
No, he
no
doesn't
one
give two
cares. Like
shits
they
about
see
that.
it and go like, "That's crazy," but don't worry about it. You're cool. Like that's why that is wild. And Rem is also pretty much just like, "You guys are weird. I love you guys because you're weird." But there's that one dude in the original, like the landing crew, that's like,
Oh
fuck them
yeah.
plants,
Oh,
yo, fuck them
oh, yeah,
kids
no,
and them plants. They're both.
Oh, that guy's gone. That guy's gone.
Yeah, he's not in this series, which makes it even weirder. Why he's so upset? Because he doesn't exist. Like,
Yeah,
there's actually
that's
less of
kinda
a reason
strange.
for him.
Yeah,
to be,
it's
like, angry
it's really
about
strange. Like
humans.
why knives suddenly is like okay, you pretty much crashed in killed a shit ton of human beings, but you're still upset afterwards of what they did to the plants. Like, okay, I'm
because
sorry.
I'll
Yeah.
admit is that what he's looking at is like he's looking at the plants being used as power sources in these bubbles. But granted, technically speaking, on the same ship, humans are in pods, also technically as bubbles. Like they're not being used as energy sources, granted, but like they are the same. You know what I mean? Like there's not like
Mhm.
an injustice happening inherently. Like it's just he's looking at it being like they just see us as tools, and it's like, yeah, but like the rest of them are in a bunch of pods too. So like, I mean, they're not waking up anytime soon.
No.
We haven't reached the planet yet, so it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it was like maybe we might start like considering how we are. They might start treating plants differently when we get to Gunsmoke. But until then, well, not to Gunsmoke because you're not even supposed to land on Gunsmoke.
Yeah, the Gunsmoke was not the original intention.
My
anyway.
man just like just crashed an entire ship out of pure. Technically
spite.
speaking, in Stampede, it is out of pure Black Force energy and nothing else. Black Air Force energy. It was like in the original one, it's like, oh no, I'm just like people can't be trusted. This dude is literally abusing us. For every
Mhm.
good person, there's an evil person. Fuck them. Right? It's not worth it. Like Vash looks at it and says, "There's good people. It's worth it." And Knives looks at it and goes like, "There's bad people. It's not worth it." But in this one, it's just pure spite. He's like, "Man, fuck them. Fuck humanity."
Like they both had their scenes. For one, what I very much enjoyed was Wolfwood's fucking cross. Just it upgraded. The upgrade it got.
Oh no, it's
awesome.
hella great. I especially like in
Awesome.
like, his introduction episode where he cuts a fucking worm, the massive worm creatures in the Planet Gunsmoke in the show, in literal half in like half a second. Like holy
Mhm.
shit!
Like, that was badass and surprising as I don't know what. Because like goddamn, I want that one, not the other one. That one.
But they also gave him a weird buff as well because I'm not sure if you noticed, Leon, that he also became Wolverine.
I did not.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
you can
let me
shoot at him
watch
and he
it.
drinks a vial and he just heals from it immediately.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, huh, okay. I don't know if that was necessary, but okay.
But with the
It makes them
original,
cooler, I
I'd
just
say
don't know
there's
how they're gonna
more
do the thing.
Mystery and a lot more cooler moments too, from what I can see.
Oh yes,
Granted, we did talk about this. The show, the new one, Stampede, doesn't actually catch up to anything. Like it's
No.
still a prequel the whole way
Mhm.
through. I'm
Mm.
assuming based on what you were saying, Pele, the last episodes pretty much deal with the fall of July, which is
Yeah.
something that in all the other series happens off screen. So
Yep.
it just is, it's a thing that happened, and we talk about it, and we see some flashbacks, but we knew that it happened already.
Yep.
So it was like pretty much with the show ending there. It's like okay, they obviously now they can start talking about the meat of the series. in the next season. Well, assuming that they're getting another season, which
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's
I
been
think
announced yet, but I'm assuming they
it's
are.
been announced. It's been
It's been
announced.
announced. Okay, so it's
Yeah,
getting another
I just don't
season.
know when that's coming out. I think they said maybe this August, but I'm not too certain.
Wait, how? The July one is the moment where he gets that bounty. The double.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, the $60 billion double dollars. That's the
Okay.
event.
Yeah, the July
So-
is the original event that we never see,
Uh huh.
quote unquote. We see it, but we see like glimpses of it.
Didn't Stampede
There is a
already
second
have him having
event.
that?
No, there's
So
a second because I know what you're thinking of. There's
Stampede
a second
gives out the title of give him the $60 billion dollars bounty, but Vash has already been called the humanoid typhoon by that point.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's just not, you know, he doesn't get the super bounty. He's a problem.
Yeah,
It's kind of a
because
problem.
in the start of the series, his bounty literally says "wanted alive, not dead."
Okay. Okay.
After July, they're like, man, kill him.
This man is a threat.
This man is a problem. That's a whole city gone. Get him out of here. They have no idea how he did it, but it's just like, bro, he need to go.
Like, that town has been vaporized. This man needs to fucking leave.
Yep. But besides that, I also I also watched That Time We Got Reincarnated as a Slime, the movie.
How was that?
Oh, right. There was a movie.
Yeah. Yep, there was a movie. Yeah. It was fun. It was cool. It's still an isekai film. It's still entertaining and such, certain characters, but it's like that issue I have beginning with a lot of isekais where a lot of the characters are already overpowered, so problems are kind of solved fairly easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that continuation with it. Nothing really advances in terms of characters because it's still pretty much the same. Just a new kingdom and relations with the new characters. Also, kind of like a cop out at the end where not really anything is gained. Some things are gained in terms of emotional status, but nothing is sacrificed. Like, oh, there's a cop out death, and like, oh, okay, that's safe. Like, fine, you did it twice. Like, fuck.
I can't even abbreviate it. It is nonsensical.
It is very nonsensical. It's like
I attempted to abbreviate the title, and it's just like, bruh.
That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime, Scarlet Bond, if that helps you. Isekais.
I'm like, great, sick.
Ah, man.
Slime.
Yeah. Yep, but caught up on that, and now I'm caught up with the story of that one. I can't wait to see what they do. Actually advances the fucking story for fucking once. Yeah, I'm waiting. My brother actually told me to hold off on watching the new season of Demon Slayer because apparently it's like very cliffhangery during a lot of the episodes. So wait until the full season comes out, then binge the hell out of it.
I've kind of sort of been trying to do that. I've been weird because I haven't been keeping up. So I'm always trying. Best way I could possibly describe this is I'm at a point where I'm constantly trying to catch up because I'm always somehow behind.
Fine, yeah.
So it's like I'm binging and then stopping and being like, all right. But like I've never catch up. So it's just like, yeah, no, episodes are coming out. I just haven't watched it yet. Let me go watch some more, and I'll watch like 2 or 3 episodes and be like, all right, cool. I'll come back to this later, and then just be like, oh, I forgot.
Yeah, no, I know the feeling.
4 more? Well,
It just becomes the moment where it's just too much, and I kind of just like, okay, you
He's on
figure
that,
out
yeah.
time. I can't figure out the time because I got all this other shit to do too. I got adulting to do, so it's just like a weird balance, weird dance gotta do sometimes.
that's good around it.
Just pick the ones that you get through. For me, it's still going through my back catalog of games. Speaking of which, I've been playing a few things to finally catch up on. I played, with the recent announcement of the Summer Game Fest, they announced the Liza P demo. I played through that. I enjoyed it. I like the atmosphere. It looks really clean and everything
Where
like that.
do you even find that? I can't find it on a PlayStation Network.
It's not on PlayStation 4 and
It's on Steam.
Down on Steam. Steam.
Steam? Oh, fuck off.
Well, that's why you
But
couldn't find it.
essentially, yeah. But how it handles is very, very similar to that of Bloodborne, and which is always a plus on my end.
Kind of perfect. Kind of a good move.
Yep, you can't jump in it, which is sad. But no verticality on that one. But you still do live visceral attacks. You do stun damages using like the Sekiro arm instead of using a gun. You actually can mix and match weapon parts to it. So if you have like a rapier or a greatsword, you actually can break those down and then switch the head of the blade with a greatsword handle and vice versa. And it's really, really interesting.
They really said, "Hey, From Software won't like re-release Bloodborne or make another one. We'll do
We'll
it
make our
ourselves.
own.
We'll do
We'll
it
do it ourselves. We enjoyed
ourselves."
it so much, we'll do it ourselves.
You know, I
There's
don't even
so
blame
many
them.
aspects of this, like just straight out of Bloodborne, where you actually have to go back to the Hotel Prat, which is essentially the hunter's dream to level your character up. You have different weapons you can use. It kind of can switch depending on the weapon itself, different stances to build up a charge. Grappling arm, so instead of using a gun or even electrical arm, uh, you fight puppets, which look really creepy at times. Even some monsters are very movement. Like for example, the final boss of the demo reminds me of the Bloodstarved Beast, but electrified.
That's actually pretty fire.
Yeah, but I enjoyed that. Another Souls-like game that actually just plain just pissed me off. I just kind of gave up on it after this point today. I've been trying to go through Steel Rising. I'm done. I'm fucking done. Not beating the game, but it kept crashing on my PlayStation, and like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not doing this anymore.
That's fair.
It's like I'm just so pissed off. Like, oh, why is this game not optimized on PlayStation? I checked for updates and even reinstalled it. It's still crashing on me. Like,
You know,
ah.
let's just give it the ultimate Pele review. What do you give it?
I
Just
give
me
it a
the
3 out
number.
of 10 because
There
it's
we
pissing
go.
me the fuck off.
Unfortunately,
The
Steel Rising
gameplay
a
is
3 out of
fine,
10.
but it becomes way too easy after a certain point. I upgraded my halberd and its length and reach is able to knock all the enemies go through. You barely die in it after a certain point because it becomes as a cakewalk of a game. The French Revolution area mixed with it's a robotic revolution and a French Revolution altogether. It's like intriguing, but I already know the French Revolution, so the atmosphere and environment doesn't intrigue me that much. Some of the robots look unique, I guess, but the story doesn't really drive me. The world doesn't really drive me because it's just like, again, French Revolution. And just like, and plus with all the crashing. And because one incident was today when I was playing it, one level, it failed to pop in a lot of textures just going through it. 5 minutes later, it crashed. I was like, ah! Like, I'm just done.
I really wish it
I
was better. I really wish it was better. It looked like it was kind of promising, but to find out that
It just doesn't handle well, and like that pisses me off. And like I know the game is kind of old at this point, so like I know it's not gonna get fixed anytime soon.
That shit.
Yeah, Spiders, if you're listening to us, please just optimize your games better. I want to like your stuff. It's just hard to when it's broken.
facts. It's kind of hard to play it if it doesn't work. It makes sense. Especially if you're gonna make games that like revolve around like it's a Souls game, so that revolves around tight reactions and making sure that you're like doing everything correctly. And it's like, it's just gonna stutter. It's just gonna decide to not work. It's just gonna crash, crash mid boss battle. That's amazing. How am I supposed to beat this fight if you keep crashing?
Mm-hmm.
But anything else, Pele?
Beyond that, nothing too much. Still playing through my Steam Deck and playing through Dreamscaper, which is a roguelike game. It's pretty extensive. Like, there's a lot of actual features and a lot of roguelike elements to this one I'm getting heavily into. Making the game harder for myself because it's more rewarding if you get it that way. Think of like Hades, like, like the challenge runs you do after you have to go through a certain point.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that's like that I'm currently doing, and it's pissing me off. But yeah, that's pretty much been my week. Yeah.
All right, Leon. Real quick, what you
Yes.
been doing?
For me, my week, it's mainly just been work. Nothing really much I can talk about aside from reason why I popped in late. My gym I've been working out at, still doing all that nonsense, getting my gains, bulking, and all that fun stuff. Gains. They had a pool party today at from 3 all the way until like, well, so I got home essentially.
So I decided to leave.
Yeah, the pool party at the gym.
So it was a fun time. I enjoyed it. I do have a bit of alcohol in my system, so maybe
little
something
bump.
different may happen.
Hello, Buzz.
Little buzz.
I'm jealous because I can't drink right now because I'm sick.
It'll be okay, Pitley. You'll be drunk
Alcoholic, cannot
like
drink.
next week
It's
or something like that. But I enjoyed that. We had we dipped in the pool, had a little nice time and such. And also they had like different Japanese food there too, because the place that the party was held was at the owner's parents' house. So it was great and it was fun. Um, Asides from that, reading wise or playing wise, not much. Um, Reading wise, there is one that I can talk about. Let me put it in the damn chat and get the link going. But this is called, if I can find it, Dosenko Gaon something. I'm not saying the rest of that. It's all in Japanese.
Well, I guess you gotta send the title for sure.
I am.
Yeah, because
I am,
we can't try to pronounce it. We can't read it.
Let me get that link. I haven't found it on my anime list. That's that. This one is a.
Dosanko Gal wa Namara Minkoi.
There you
Mm-hmm.
go.
It looks like it's actually getting anime. I didn't realize this. I didn't know it at all. But it's getting an anime soon.
Yeah, a lot of things get it. Why this? Okay. Ranked, that's not popularity.
This one is a comedy, has some romance themes and such, and slice of life, school, yada yada. Our main male boy, this one's about, what the fuck is his name?
It's a romance anime. Meets a
Yes, it is.
gal. Why is gal in quotation marks?
Well, because I
She
think
dressed-
gal's a thing specifically. Like it's a specific type of thing. In
It's
Japan.
it's mainly like to dress how they do or how they act possibly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tosu,
I was wondering, like, is it secretly a yaoi?
no. Tatsuba, he recently moved from, our main male character recently moved from Tokyo to Hokkaido, and this was during the middle of a storm, so, he's not used to the weather during this moment. And he's also kind of shocked to find out that he has to walk, like, another fucking 3 hours to school because the train can't get that far because of all the snow. Or at least the taxi can't get that far. It's a taxi. But then she runs into a person from Hokkaido, Donseko, they're apparently called, and she's wearing nothing but her school uniform and short skirt. That's it. She's just bracing the cold because she's used to it and everything, and they somehow start a relationship after that. It's being friends and everything, and him living his life there. It's just kind of cute. It's just neat to see their interactions. It's just something just to kind of just slow read, like, oh hey, this is nice. This is kind of a little neat thing. It's kind of your typical romance scenarios that it has. It does have its love rivals. It does have its XYZ, everything else. And manga be manga. Its plot sometimes being very redundant. But it's also it's just wholesome too. So check it out if you want to get some nice little wholesomeness and not some really weird ass shit that normally comes with gal mangas.
I don't know if it normally comes with it, but well,
I mean, think of it. How often does it show them as like, hey?
look, I've seen probably one other that's like it's chill. And that's
There is one other. There is
yeah,
one other. I
it's
remember
pretty
that.
chill.
But
But to be fair, I've seen like 3 total about gals, and like one of them's wild, and then 2 of them so far have been pretty tame.
okay.
And by tame, I mean like yeah, they vibing. it's a plot. There's literally only been one that I've seen that's like, yeah, no, that's they're bugging over there. A lot. I'm just gonna leave that alone. But
Well, that's pretty much it for me, unless you want to see something degenerate, like really degenerate.
nah,
Okay.
no degeneracy today.
Okay.
So for me, I guess a lot of mine is kind of redundant. I have like 2 new things on there, technically speaking. Actually, maybe. Let me scroll up just to make sure I didn't talk about it last. No, I talked about it last week. All right, cool. So yeah, definitely 2. So look, I've been reading Just a Goblin. Just a Goblin is a webtoon series.
Is that the web?
Yes,
too?
it's a webtoon series.
I want to check
on
that out. How's
Webtoon.
it?
It's the reason why I'm mentioning it right now, because I've mentioned it before, it's going pretty hard. So all I'm saying is, hey yo, maybe you might want to read Just a Goblin right now. Maybe you might want to catch up so you could be with the hype right now. Because it's popping off.
I'll check that out.
Just a warning to those that like watching or reading. Well, technically can't watch, but like it's weird because it's episodes. It's weird. Those who like to read webtoons, they're even called tunes, which makes it even weirder. Whatever. Like, those who read it, you maybe want to go look at Just a Goblin right now because it's
I mean, some of the webtoons have animations.
They do.
Some of them.
They do.
Some of them do. Also, music. I love it when they incorporate music into the webtoons.
Yo,
That's
bro,
the best part.
this is the best thing I could possibly say. Just the Goblin just started doing that because you know what's popping off.
Yes.
Because when they gotta put the music in, it's for a reason.
Shit goes down. Shit goes down. Because
every webtoon that puts music in their chapter, you know it's about to go crazy. That I literally just read like 3 or 4 chapters with music in it. So I was like, these chapters are going crazy. I found myself having to be like, hey yo, do I got some coins? Do I got some leftover? I got some coins. I could read a chapter. I could read an extra chapter.
I see where the extra music. I only saw one, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
I could read
see
I could read an extra chapter. I could read a couple extra chapters. The only thing I don't like about reading extra chapters is now I'm like, the moment I'm like, okay, I'm ready to relax now. The hype is gone. I now have to wait like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
That's why I don't do that. That's why I don't do that.
I get it, but sometimes it get kind of hype, and you kind of just can't stop reading.
I know.
So you do it and be like, all right, cool.
Reading,
now I know.
I think it was Doombreaker, Hero Returns, Unordinary. I'm just like, yo, hold up, wait a minute. Why is this shit popping off? It's so good.
Oh, yeah, no, I read like the entire Unordinary like in 3 days time. Like,
Plus,
Jesus.
I'm not gonna lie, when like chapters are 99 cents, and this is not me trying to be a shill for Webtoon, but like when you have a chapter that's 99 cents, it's kind of easy to be like, I'll just read a couple more chapters.
Oh no, exactly.
Like,
but then I think about the long term thing. Like, hey, I'm gonna have to wait 2 weeks now. Shit.
Okay, I can do that. It's like, it's fine. It's like, I'll just wait. I'll wait till the app tells me, hey yo, you wanna read this again? I'm like, yes, I do. It just sucks because you go from reading it, especially like with the way I was reading Just a Goblin, because I read a lot of my webtoons. Like, I don't catch up as harshly. I don't usually try to follow it week to week. I usually just kind of read, and I tend to just stay behind unless it starts popping off, and I can't stop. And then I catch up, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So Just the Goblin did that to me. So all I'm saying is you might want to
those are the dangerous ones too, because most of the time, for some reason, it's when I'm laying down, I'm trying to go to bed, or just trying to get something done. That all of a sudden shit pops off, and you're like, oh hey. Half the day's gone. What the fuck? Wait a minute.
Yeah, for me that was a weak hero for a good while because that one gets popped up pretty hard.
I've been meaning to start reading that, and I haven't started reading it yet.
You like it, Amani, especially since like it's a fighting webtoons. Yeah, it's dope.
I have it on my list. I just have not started reading it yet. But this one, just to recap, basically what Just a Goblin is. We're following our boy. Let me see what his name is. I was about to say Gob, but I know it's it's something like that.
Gobbo.
It's like a goblin. It's literally just a goblin name. So it's like
I can't say Gobbo because that name's already taken in that time. I mean,
they rehash names every day.
Gobbo.
Names are used for everyone all the time.
Yes. How many Subarus are out there in the universe?
He's like, let me see.
Shit,
not in my library.
Naruto's actually not that common in terms of anime.
It's not, but still.
Wait, what is?
Hinata.
Sasuke. I've heard a few Sasuke.
No, Hinata is used a lot.
Hinata's means literally princess, though.
I know dudes that are named Hinata.
Well, he may really. Let's see. Oh yeah, Shinobu. Surprisingly enough, I hear a lot of Shinobus.
Shinobus, yeah. There's a lot of Shinobus. What's his name?
Harami is a lot too.
I need them to just say his name. Say his name.
It's not wanting to say his name. You gotta find it.
I'm going back through the chapter I was reading, and I'm just looking at the crazy shit that was happening, and I just need them to just say his name at one point. Just say the name.
No.
Nog.
Say my
His name is Nog.
Nog. Okay.
No.
So
Okay.
we have Nog. He's a goblin that's an inventor, right? He's smart, smarter than the rest of the goblins, right? But like people don't listen to him because he's a
Oh,
little
it makes
nerd.
sense. His
He
name
be
is
making
Nog. You know,
yeah,
he's an egghead. He's an eggnog.
yeah, exactly. He's like, but he's making his little inventions and stuff like that, and he's like, yo, I'm learning things and figuring things out, and he's like looking at things, being like, yo, why do humans hunt us? Like he's looking at his friend Grubble. I'm glad that I remember her name right off rip. Um, he's looking at his friend Grubble, and he's like, hey, why do humans hunt us? I'm kind of sick of this. Like, should we do something? And they're like talking in a meeting with like all the other goblins. And he's like, we should probably like do something, right? And, like, maybe not fight them inherently in a full war because this seems dumb. We lose every time. We just keep losing people. They're way too strong. But like humans tend to just kill us for some reason, and we don't know why. We should probably find out. Maybe negotiate. Maybe talk. Maybe like talk it out, right? And like the leader's just like, nah, let's just throw more people at it. You know what we're gonna do? Throw twice as many goblins as we can at them. And Nog's just like, that's gotta be the dumbest plan I've heard. We've been losing the whole time. I have no idea why throwing twice as many seems like the move. Like it's just not even close. So he's like, you know what? Better idea. Grubble, we're just gonna go into the skies. We're gonna learn. We're gonna go become adventurers. We're gonna infiltrate the human society, figure out why they don't like us, right? And in doing so, they genuinely start going on adventures. The biggest problem is the first thing that they do is they're like, hey, we're going to kidnap an adventurer, right? We're going to kidnap an adventurer and ask him why. Because that's their first plan. They just happen to steal an adventurer that, has like this weird magical thing about him, quote unquote. And deal is that upon accidentally killing said adventurer, um, a little ghost spirit pops out and immediately finds the next person that's technically responsible for murdering him. And even though Grubble is the one that cut the rope, Nog is the one that made the trap. So it's his fault. So the ghost thing pops up and is like, hey, yo, so do you like stats? Because, like, I can get you to level up and do video game stuff with it. And it's like, oh, okay, well, that's crazy. But Nog looks crazy because no one else can see the ghost. So, that's always fun. Apparently, there are select individuals within the entire world, because there's like another human that also has the same thing, but, that they get like, these little ghost things that allow them to level up, and Nog is the first goblin to get one, perhaps. Perhaps. It's not clear anymore if he was the first one, I'm gonna be real. But in doing so, he's like, well, I'm smart enough, and this thing is literally giving me the ability to, start changing myself a little bit better. So we're gonna work with that. We're gonna use this, and you, Rebel, since you're really strong, we're just gonna disguise ourselves as humans, like I said before, and just go figure out why they don't like us. Just gonna do that. And shenanigans ensue. Is the best way I can possibly describe that from there on. But right now it's going crazy. And I cannot recommend just a goblin enough right now. So if you want to go read that, go read that. But besides that,
I've
I've
already
been
saved it.
playing a shit ton of Street Fighter 6. Like, World Tour mode has been my best friend. I am out here. My fighter is legit. I'm learning. I'm becoming a better fighter in every way.
I need money.
Street Fighter 6 is fire. That's like my shining review. Like, probably easily one of the best single player modes in a fighting game I've ever seen. So much, in fact, that Street Fighter better just have this in the next game. Like, it doesn't make sense to not have this in the next game. It's so good. It's the best way I can describe it. It's just fun. Fighting game RPG is a thing that, like, I think a bunch of people have thought about at some point and just never considered just actually doing it. And then they was like, oh yeah, we could do it. We tried the cinematic thing like Mortal Kombat was doing. It didn't really work out for us. So we could do something different. And what a good idea to do this was. Um, I think I said it before, but hope Street Fighter keeps this. Mortal Kombat, you stay with your cinematic stuff though, because like I think there's a world in where both can exist, and I don't really think Mortal Kombat needs to copy this. I just don't.
I don't think so either. I think Mortal Kombat will be more bombastic.
Tekken's weird because technically it kind of did this a little bit
before.
before.
Mhm.
It didn't do the RPG elements. Like it's literally this
No,
is like
they did with
random
the
battles.
Deadly Alliance style in Mortal Kombat.
No, well, yeah, it did do that, but like I mean, like well, Deadly Alliance was actually just a full on beat 'em up. Like that's just that wasn't even a
I know,
thing.
but that was I think
Mm-hmm.
the single player campaign for 5 or 6. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, no, I forgot about that. You're right. They kind of something like that. But I was talking about my bad. I said Mortal Kombat. I meant Tekken. Tekken did
Mhm.
like just straight up a beat 'em up at some
Yeah.
point.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Tekken should go back to doing that. By the way, that was fun. But yeah, no. As far as just full cinematic, I think Tekken should be a beat 'em up. Continue with the story, right? But just do the little Tekken beat 'em up stuff because that's fun. The system kind of works for it. It's weird. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Fighting game RPG belongs to Street Fighter. I think that's an amazing way of just doing their story, where it's just fuck it. You just learn from all the other Street Fighters. The world of fight world that exists in this, like
Oh, it's
everyone wants the
hilarious when I
hands.
watched that.
It's
That was
amazing.
fucking amazing.
Everyone wants the hands. No wonder why everyone's like the way they are in Street Fighter. It makes total sense.
Everybody. Like
Everybody
literally
wants to smoke.
everybody. It was just a reporter. This one guy. Who fought? Who uppercutted? I think it was like the scene with Max.
Yeah, that's really good.
And he just was just like,
taking a
it's like,
picture.
oh hey, I'm gonna just like press a button. He accidentally like Shoryukens this man, and then this man's just like, hey yo, square up. All right, cool. Let's fucking
Everyone
go.
wants to smoke. Everyone wants to smoke, and I appreciate that so much. And then obviously, like Mortal Kombat, I think does the cinematic story the best out of everybody. Like, genuinely, I'm interested in Mortal Kombat because it has the fun like, yeah, we're a fighting game, but we're a movie at the same
Mm.
time stuff. So I'm like, all right, it works. I'm cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
um, the other thing I'm messing around with is Ready or Not. Me, Aaron, and Javi are messing around with that, and Logan as well. We were making our way. That one is a super tactical, basically a police simulator, or SWAT simulator, technically speaking,
Mm-hmm.
where it is a co-op experience in which you're going through and like clearing out buildings, but everything is done in like the most like tactical way possible. Um, you are in first person, right? You die in like a couple hits. You have armor. You got to choose it up. Like, I am a shield main. Apparently, I figured that out. I go in first
You
and
cap.
block bullets.
You cap with your vibranium shield.
Yeah, I got the vibranium shield, bro. I'll put it right in front of everybody. I'm taking all of the bullets.
Mm.
You die very quickly in that game, though. That is a fair warning.
Oh no,
We have
it's like Twin Skies.
we
all
have
over
gotten squad wiped by one dude before, and we were so sad because we were almost done the mission. Missions take like a minute because like you're slowly methodically moving through places like as an actual SWAT team. You're clearing things out,
Mhm.
breaching rooms and stuff like that. Like it's fun. Um, Highly recommend doing this with a team. Like just 3 people is how you play this game. Doing it with the AI is not really the move. I'm gonna be honest. Like you can tell them how to move around and stuff like that, but this is very clearly a game that like wants you to be tactically invested and making call outs and things like that as you move around. You're also like telling AI because like there's hostage situations and stuff like that. Like there's people that you don't want to shoot, and then there's people that you do want to shoot. You're constantly putting out warnings and stuff like that. It's rated on how good of an like how good at being an actual cop. It's crazy. This teaches you how hard it is to kind of be a SWAT team or cop person, like in general. Like it just teaches you how hard it is. It is also surprisingly not that hard, but granted, you
Mhm.
don't get a start over in real life, so mistakes can be made. But at the same time, if you wanted to just get an idea of what it's like, I'd say play it. Right? It's actually a fun time. I actually really enjoyed myself with it. It's technically not something I usually would be interested in, but I had a lot of fun with it. Um, and then lastly, I checked out this thing called Moonbreakers. There's the game that exists that we already talked about that's like based on D&D, but they have a thing on I believe Audible, which is just it's a story. Like it's some of the stories from the world. It's actually really cool. And I actually just ran through all of them. They were surprisingly easy to go through, so I'd like highly recommend checking those out. Let me see what they were called exactly. Where is it? I was going through the. Yes, it's the Moonbreaker Tales from the Reach. series. They're just short stories that just pretty much are existing in the world, and they do a pretty good job setting up things. And I'm looking forward. Apparently, they're going to be putting out more, so I recommend go checking them out. But besides that, let us get into the news real quick. We're just honestly this time we're gonna just do like one each because we do not have a lot of time.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure Lawless is going to talk about this, especially you, Amani. Fucking Yosuke, that a lost descendant.
Yeah, Yasuke looks crazy. Me and him were actually talking about this at the beginning. I'm like, that's
that looks
wild,
phenomenal.
phenomenal. Cannot wait for that to come out. That looks actually really cool.
It's got that Spider-Man element slightly within it, and has the whole weebness that I'd enjoy too. Shit.
Just to let everybody know, it's a 3D character action game with Spider Verse effects going on and just randomly swinging, random grappling hook swinging and parkour, which is kind of cool. Like these combinations are making for like a really cool video game, and we're kind of like, it's appealing to me. It's appealing to my court. They chose Yasuke. I'm down for black samurais.
Yeah.
I'd be a black
Yeah.
samurai. It's pretty sick. Like, so I think that's pretty lit. Damn, I did say one each. So, Pele, what is yours? Cause Pele,
Yep. Mine, I want to mostly talk about. Let's see. uh, oh yes, Shadows of the Damned remastered. Mainly because that's a game I played a long time ago when I was in high school. And I can't believe that after 12 years they're finally making a remaster release for the modern console because you can't get it nowadays.
it's wild.
Really?
All right,
Absolutely insane.
yeah, that one is actually crazy. Damn, I'm torn. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of. I know. I feel like I should announce the craziest one, but then there's also like other crazier ones to me. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the one that caught my eye and did it the hardest, right? So, um, Sandlands is a video game now. Sandlands is a story by Kira Toriyama, just the creator of Dragon Ball, Aurelie Chan, and like a bunch of other stuff. But you know, people know Dragon Ball mainly.
Yeah.
But didn't know that this was another story by him, which is kind of speaks exactly to the point of like Dragon Ball kind of eclipses everything. But the idea of another game that is not Dragon Quest and or a Dragon Ball game already has me excited, and then the fact that it is an action RPG, I'm pretty sure
It looks like it. Yeah.
it's an
Looks
action
like it,
RPG.
yeah.
It's like
Seems
specifically
fun
an
already
action
from what I
RPG.
watched.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And it gets to explore the one thing I like
the
about
manga a
it.
bit
You
for
did.
Sandlands. I don't think I read the first chapter though, because it was in the giant books for Shonen magazine and everything. They used to do a lot.
But you read a little
I
bit
just
of
picked up
Sandland.
one and I read through it and it was pretty fun.
Sandland looks super cool, and we get to finally see more of that Toriyama style of like mechs and machinery and basically all the stuff you usually get to see on like the color pages that he does for Dragon Ball, like the special like drawings and stuff that he does. We get to see that just in action, like the little like, especially since we haven't seen any of that stuff since like Dragon Ball, really. Like Dragon Ball
Yeah.
is when we got to see like his interesting designs for mechs, his interesting designs for cars, like just stuff in the world that's like, oh yeah, that's how he draws stuff, and it's like that's kind of a cool way to draw things. A lot of people just kind of forget that like that Dragon Ball existed, like Dragon Ball exactly existed and how it was as a thing because Dragon Ball Z eclipses everything, and Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
doesn't spend a lot of time talking about a lot of those things, so. He's like, I'm kind of excited just off of that alone. I like his style. I'm just kind of sick of seeing certain things in his style, and so now seeing something completely different, I'm really looking forward to Sandland. Technically, the only thing I'm not mentioning right now is the Spider-Man Collector's Edition, and that's because I want less competition. Fuck off. I want my statue.
Yep, it's also something you can't really afford at the moment.
Yeah. But I will say this. So, we will talk about the rest of these things in a mini-sode later because there's actually a decent amount of things on this that we have to talk
There
about.
very
in
much
general.
is.
Um, but before we go, we have to do a nice little keep an eye on, and we have a couple things here that we gotta look
Ooh.
at. Also, Pele, I forgot to grab yours, so I have to find that real quick. Pele literally sent me one and was like, "Oh yeah, no, it was a great one." I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Yep.
I'll totally
Blaster
put that on,"
Beats.
and just didn't put it
Blaster Beats, yeah.
on. Blaster Beats.
Let's
Texas
go.
Beats. Oh no, it's I messed up one of them. Hold up, one of the links was screwed up. No, it's still screwing up. Why is it screwing up like this? Bad link.
Found it.
It's being weird. One of the. I mean,
Ooh,
you
no.
can still talk about the first one, but like go off about that. I'm just trying to make sure that this second link works. It's got to take you to the right place, and if it doesn't do that, then I'm gonna be upset. Okay. I got the second link working.
Yeah.
But we're gonna look at the first one, and then I'm gonna find Pele's thing while we talk about it. But Otter Sea looks fun. Also, it's a great pun name because it's called Otter Sea. It's a pun for Odyssey. Haha. Those
There
that
it is,
may not
okay.
understood. But it is a adventure game involving an otter with a little scarf. It reminds me a lot of Zelda with the way it plays out. It's actually it's an action adventure game, much like Zelda actually, but it's a little otter.
It does. Oh, it just is.
Yeah. Also, I will say this: one of the most unique things about this game is I like the fact that like you pick up an item to do melee attacks. From what I can tell, like at least in the first bit of gameplay, that I'm seeing here is it's you playing as the otter and you have to pick up a rock in order to do sick combos on it. And I'm looking at that being like, that's kind of a cool element. I like that actually. Like
You
the
know,
idea that normally you're just walking around and being like a normal ass otter, I guess.
I
Like
don't
a
know
normal
how far
anthropomorphic
this
otter.
has been in development, how long it has been in development, but this shit looks clean.
It
Just for the
does. That's
boss
what I'm
fight.
saying.
It reminds me a lot of Wind Waker, just a lot smoother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Wind Waker is always a fun thing.
I mean, it goes into the widescreen angle when it gets close up to the bosses, just like
Mm-hmm.
Wind Waker does.
That's fair. That's very fair. There we go. I found Pele's thing. Wow,
Yay.
text.
Is there more?
Now. Oh yeah, no. If you keep go over to
Oh, I see it
go
now.
over to their media. Yeah, they have more. There's like one of him fighting like another knight looking one, like
Like
a
a
bandit,
robo one.
like a bandit otter. Oh yeah,
Counterattacks, okay.
the robot one's cool. Yeah, and then there's like these weird little chameleon things, shark
Mm-hmm.
looking. I don't know what the fuck them niggas are.
Oh,
I'm
there's a
missing.
guard mechanic you actually can read at the bottom of the screen. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like you see, it's a charge up similar to that of Sekiro a little bit.
Which is fun.
Oh, parry. Okay. Parry. Stance. Stance
Mhm.
mechanic. Okay.
Your poise.
No, I'm just imagining the artist being like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you with this fucking rock I found.
I mean,
That's exactly
that's
what's
their
happening.
tools. They literally just use
Beating
rocks.
the shit out of each other with rocks, and you can drop it, you can throw it. Like it's kind of cool. I like that. um, the other thing we have here, though, we have Blade Prince Academy, and Blade Prince
Tactical
Academy.
RPG. It looks cool.
Yes. Now, what reminds me of, and this is you might have heard me talking about it before a little bit, Billy, but it reminds me a lot of Transistor and Hades. And
It
looking at
does.
that, I was
It
like,
moves
"Oh,
like
this is cool."
Hades, but plays like Transistor because you have to. It's a tactical RPG, so you have to place and plan your attacks out instead of just simply a hack and slasher.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it does look like Hades a bit.
Which, to be
Mhm.
fair, I guess technically speaking, you could have played. Um, most people, I don't think a lot of people played it like that, but you definitely could just play Transistor as
A hack and
you would
slasher.
Hades. Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it, but yes, you can.
It it works. It honestly, like the best way I can describe it is, it works actually functionally completely fine. The game is way funner when you pause it though. Like it
Yeah.
is, you just get to create a bunch of stuff that's really cool. But like, also the last boss is kind of cooler because of that mechanic. Where,
Mm-hmm.
it's, it's one of those things. But yeah, nah, it's super dope. So highly recommend looking at that one. This is on Kickstarter. It has 18 days to go. So if you pretty much like anything we said in that sentence, like Hades or Transistor, and you like that kind of style, because it's going for that style hard. Like it looks very much like these things, and it's like it's doing enough unique things though that it stands out. But it's doing a lot of that, like a lot of that Hades energy is in this for sure, with the harsh shadows and how everything kind of looks. But yeah, 18 days left, and I can use a bit more of its pledge. But go ahead if you're interested in any of that. Go ahead and look it up, give it a shot. Definitely give it a shot out there. Now let us. Actually, Pele, you're gonna have to tell us about this one because I have to look at it. Let me paste it. I forgot to paste it. Come back.
Where are you at?
It's fine. Pele can tell us about it because he already knows about it.
Speak.
So, the next one that's not on the list, but you should guys look it up on YouTube if you can. Blaster Beats. It's a FPS rhythm game where when you're shooting it, it's actually based off the rhythm of the game and your character for it. So it's a really cool kind of FPS team deathmatch type of style game from what I see here. It's going to be intriguing in terms of gameplay mechanics because this way you actually can count the shots of your enemies by actually following the rhythm of the soundtrack. So if you actually can keep time really well, you can probably be devastating in that game.
Actually sounds awesome. And I say this while trying to get it to load up.
There it is. Okay.
Ah, we go. Yeah, you had to refresh.
All right. Oh, okay. I see now.
Okay, do you see it?
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. Fire. This is a vibe.
Mm-hmm. It looks fun. I can't wait to check it out when it comes out.
Same, honestly. Yeah, no, there's so many games coming out with this rhythm theme at this point that it's. Best way I could describe it is I'm super excited. I am not going to play all of these. I am super excited.
We're also very busy. We can't play everything.
You know, for some reason, Blaster Beats giving me the vibe of an old game I used to play, S4 League.
I was about to say, are you about to say S4 League?
Yeah. Yeah.
S4 League.
It's just, I don't know, it's just how it looks, how it feels to me.
Having S4 League flashbacks.
Yeah, I am.
Straight up.
PTSD.
You know what? That's the name. S4 League. That's for League's flashbacks. S4 League Vietnam flashbacks. That is it. I was gonna ask what the name of this one was gonna be so that we could close it off. No, that's it. We got the title. Say less. It's done. All right. So, without further ado, we are going to bring this episode to a close because we have to get out of here.
We got lives.
We got things to do. But it's always fun to actually talk to you guys and, get a chance to enjoy you guys. Appreciate you guys coming on the show. For those at home, we appreciate you listening. If you have questions or things you want to send in to us, go ahead and hit us up at paperplayaction@gmail.com. That is paperplayaction@gmail.com. Or
one more
hit
time.
us up on Twitter at paper_action. So that's paperplayaction@gmail.com and paper_action on Twitter. And if you want to just support us in any way, you can hit us up on our Koji or our Patreon. So, that's Paperplay on those places.
Help the children.
Or Cash App too. That's a thing as well. But more importantly, talk and spread the love. Talk about the show. Let people know. Because we'd like to get to talk and get to know more of you guys. So by all means, spread the love. And,
spread it well. Spread it far and wide.
I mean, granted, the entire show is about showing different things to people and exploring different things. So, like, the more it gets out there, the more we actually get stuff from other people to be like, "Oh, look at that! That thing's crazy."
Like, let's talk about it.
Can you draw? I'd like to see it. Hey, are you making video games? I'd also like to see it. Are you making music? Send it this way, bro.
We'll play it.
We will play. Now, it will be here. Like, we'll play it. You can play us out. Like, it's all good.
Play us in, out, the way around.
We're super down for that. Like, by all means, in fact, let's say that if you know anybody that is out there making music or making a game or making a comic book or just drawing in general, that just have some type of artistic skill that we would enjoy here, let them know to send it to us, and we gush about it. Because why not? We'd gush about it and just give them the exposure that they might want or need or whatever. Like, it's good to know. So by all means, do that, because we like to help other people out. That's our way of doing things here. Yeah, we got pay-per-view action. So, without further ado, we will catch you all next time.
Farewell. Be safe.
Peace.
Farewell.